Hey guys, we make best here. We're going to compare some Magic decks to FAB, so if you want to get into FAB and you want to choose your deck, we got you. If you like mono red and Magic, you should check out Fai. Fai is the most aggressive deck in the game and cares very little about what the opponent is doing, choosing to race with pure damage and threatening extra effects when his attacks hit.
If you're a mad dog and play Infect and MTG, look no full... fuck! If you're a full sick lad and play... If you're a Chad and play Infect like me in Magic, look no further than Dori. Dori is all about making blocks awkward with combat tricks. If the Dori ends up winning a couple of these exchanges in a row, she gets out of hand very fast, due to her weapon gaining counters if she hits twice.
If you like mid-range flexible decks in Magic, you should check out Viserai. Viserai is one of the most consistent decks in Flesh and Blood. Just like Jund in Modern that usually plays mono good cards, Viserai has an element of damage called arcane damage that is hard to block, as well as blocking his normal attacks.
Briar feels a lot like mono white aggro decks in Magic. The deck contains a lot of strong attacks, but really pops off when you draw the Anthem effects to buff the attacks. Channelmite Heroic is Briar's signature card. Similar to the glorious Anthem effects in Magic, this allows Briar to push high damage turns.
Kano is the Storm deck of the format. Everyone must bring sideboard cards so they don't just run into the Storm deck and die. Kano is all about setting up their combo, then waiting for the opportunity to OTK the opponent with arcane damage.
Much like Prison in Magic, Isylander just wants the opponents to suffer, disrupting and taxing the opponent's turn until they are left with nothing to do at all while dealing arcane damage.
Known as the main control deck in Flesh and Blood, although there aren't any counter spells or board wipes in this game, Oldhim instead opts to block out the opponent's turn until they eventually run out of cards to attack with, and then presents strong attacks of his own that makes it hard for the opponent to block. If you're more of a grindier player in Magic, Dromai fits the bill perfectly. Dromai is all about value. She's a defensive hero that summons dragons that gain her more and more value the longer the game goes, and you can keep them alive.
All about taxing the opponent with one-sided Thalia effects while playing disruptive attacks to bash opponents' life totals, while also adding more taxing effects. This deck is known to sometimes tax so much that the opponent will straight up not get a turn for the whole game. Boltyn is primarily a combo deck that is able to deal a little bit of damage in the mid game. He needs time to set up his combo by putting cards in his soul/exile and then combo off. Similar to Breach in Modern where they can pressure you with Ragavan and then combo off when ready.
Dash is an aggressive deck at its core, but has a transformative sideboard that relies on item cards, which work like enchantments to buff your weapon's damage. Dash can present a lot of important on-hit triggers that need to be blocked, but if the opposing deck is capable of dealing with her aggression, she can play for a long game item setup. She's very similar to how Murktide can sideboard into control plans with Jace the Mind Sculptor and Blood Moon. Rhinar feels a lot like Hollow One decks in Modern. The deck relies on a lot of cards that require discarding a card as an additional cost. When he does discard, he causes the opponent to banish one of their cards, making it harder for his attacks to be blocked. Rhinar is able to play a consistent mid-range game, but can opt for taking a high roll turn to potentially close the game out and deal upwards of 15 damage.
Bravo is a lot like red-green monsters in Magic. He can create Seismic Surge tokens that reduce the cost of his spells, like Elvish Mystics and Llanowar Elves in green-red. His attacks are all high power and have strong effects, just like the creatures in red-green monster decks.
If we didn't mention your go-to Magic deck in this video, let us know what you play in Magic and we'll try and refer it to a Flesh and Blood deck, and we'll see you playing the game soon.